Hi everyone, in this video we show how to run a hierarchical longitudinal model using the graphical user interface and the dataset provided in the GitHub repository. In this example, we use the dataset 42sim longitudinal logit.csv to illustrate how the model works. First, go to the Hierarchical Longitudinal Models tab and click on Logit. Then click on Browse and select the file 42sim longitudinal logit.csv from the datasim folder. Once the dataset is loaded, you will see a preview of the data and all included variables. Next, set the number of MCMC iterations along with the burn-in period and thinning parameter. After that, specify the main equation using standard R formula syntax. In this example, the dependent variable is y and the regressors are x1 and x2. Then you can specify the random effects equation. If the model includes only a random intercept, you should leave this field empty. Next, enter the name of the grouping variable, which identifies the cross-sectional unit. The GUI also allows you to specify the prior mean vector and covariance matrix for the location parameters, as well as the shape and scale parameters for the variance of the model. In addition, you can define the shape parameter and covariance matrix of the inverse Wishart prior for the covariance matrix of the random effects. Once these settings are defined, click Go. The app will generate posterior summaries of the model parameters. First, you will see the summary of the posterior draws for the location parameters, followed by the posterior summaries for the covariance matrix of the random effects, and finally, the posterior summaries for the model variance and deviance, which is a measure of model fit. The app also provides convergence diagnostics for the posterior draws. Finally, you can download the posterior chains as a CSV file. This file includes, in order, the posterior draws of the location parameters, the posterior draws of the random effects for each cross-sectional unit, the posterior draws of the covariance matrix of the random effects, and the posterior draws of the stochastic error variance and deviance. You can also download the graphs for the location parameters, covariance matrix parameters, stochastic error variance, and deviance as PDF or EPS files. I hope this video was helpful. Thanks for watching.